So, if you remember last week, I gave you kind of a cliffhanger that we had a big project planned, and it's done. So, here's this week's video. But I'm going to be doing something slightly different this week. I'm going to do a longer version, the one that I've been doing, and then I'm going to be doing kind of a condensed version because I've gotten some complaints that I talk too much. So I'm going to be doing that. I don't know when it's going to start, but it'll probably be at the end of the video. So if I can, I'll put like an annotation or something so that you can skip forward, or worst comes to worst, look in the description. There should be a link for when that starts. But here is the big project. If you notice, the zucchini is in a much bigger planter now. And it's not the only one. The tomatoes have also been moved into much, much bigger planters. And you can see they were originally in these size planters. These are 20-gallon fabric grow bags. And then I've also added much bigger tomato cages to them, so they have plenty of space to grow. Not only that, but I've also installed an irrigation system for all of them, the zucchini as well. I'll get over there in a second. But the irrigation system I've added to the beans, the cucumbers, and those beans as well. Not quite done with all of them, but hopefully when I'm done, they will all have an irrigation system. So here's the zucchini. So we trimmed him down because he had a bunch of not good looking leaves, either all yellow or already just dying. It was pretty sad. And figured out why as soon as we took him out of his original planter. Turns out that there were 2 zucchinis, first of all, which we knew in that one planter, but the amount of soil that they had was only about 4 inches deep, so not so good for a zucchini. But now they should be much, much happier, and it really looks like it. We moved them yesterday, but sorry for the wind. It's been really, really windy today. Hopefully that's not horrible on your ears. But we planted him yesterday, and he's already like perked up a lot. Not only that, but there, I believe, is already a little zucchini growing here, because the first blossom opened a few days ago now. And hopefully I can put a picture of that over the screen now, but yeah, it was beautiful. And now hopefully that's a zucchini, although it may not be because there weren't any of the male flowers open, just that one female flower. But maybe it somehow got pollinated, because it kind of looks like it, but we'll find out in a few days. So that's the zucchini. Garlic hasn't changed much, just moved positions. This spot I'm hoping will be a little better for them, because before they were in a lot of shade with behind the tomato plants. So now should have a little more space to grow. All the marigolds are looking great. Oh, this little experiment cutting is surviving as far as I can tell. I think it's growing. Not much, and obviously he's got some bad looking spots there, but we'll see how he does. Like I said, marigolds are looking good. Tall skinny guy over here has one of his flowers open and some other flowers, so he is hoping to finally produce his second fruit that he's ever produced. And then this is son of tall skinny guy, and he's growing probably the best out of all the tomatoes right now. He certainly looks the best in terms of the color of his leaves, and none of them are curling or anything. So I'm really proud of him. He's also got some flowers still, although none of them have opened yet. I think I showed you those last week. Oh, I stand corrected. He does have a flower open. Look at that. How beautiful. He's got a bunch of other flowers there. And he's got a second bunch of flowers, if you can see, up in there. Yep, right there. Beautiful. The bell pepper has his flower completely open. It's been open for a few days now. Not sure if it's been pollinated, but based on the fact that it's starting to dry out, maybe. But we'll find out. Eggplants, still growing real well, as far as I can tell. Beautiful. The bell peppers are finally starting to get their true leaves and growing up a little bit. Awesome. The Roma tomatoes, we moved. So we moved the Roma tomatoes so that they're all kind of symmetrical with the bigger tomatoes. But they're growing real well. I'll show you those as I get to them. This is the Better Boy, the Champion in the middle, and then the Early Girl down at the end. The Better Boy has a lot of flowers open. He has 3 up here, I think, and then a bunch down in here. I don't know which have gotten pollinated, which haven't yet. He hasn't had any blossoms that have fallen off, but he has all sorts of flowers growing, about to open, and then some that have already opened and are just waiting. Super excited. Little Roma, looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. This is the Champion, and out of the big tomatoes, he's I mean, his leaves don't look too good, especially down there, and then even the top ones, the veins look a little dark on a lot of them. So I'm hoping it's not an infection of some sort, although it very well might be. But he's still growing as far as I can tell. Might have to trim those leaves. I'm not sure. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. But he's got a bunch of flowers just waiting. Just waiting. Little Roma guy. Alright, this is the Early Girl. And you can see down at the bottom there that she's got a bunch of yellow leaves. These other 2 did as well, but you might notice I've trimmed them down at the bottom. I might end up doing the same thing with the Early Girl, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm going to be researching a little bit, but right now I'm really leaning toward trimming them off because they're just not looking good, and I don't want it to spread at all. You can tell a bunch of the leaves are curling on all of them, and I think that's just a response to getting transferred into here and having their root systems disturbed. Hopefully by next week they'll be looking real good again. But with the Early Girl, we're really excited. Not only does she have a bunch of flowers open, but she officially has our first 2 tomatoes. There's one, and the other one's back here. Look at those beauties. It is so exciting seeing them actually growing. Because you see the blossoms, and you see the little buds, and you're like, oh man, can't wait till that's a tomato. But to see them actually fruiting, it's just such a wonderful experience. So excited. I'm not sure I've ever tried Early Girl before, so but I hear they're really yummy, so I'm looking forward to eating them. The last Roma tomato, still looking great. Parsley looks a bit smaller than before, simply because we've finally harvested them. Turns out that we're supposed to harvest it when it's really curly like this, not when it starts flattening out. So a lot of the leaves were getting, like, I guess, overripe, and that's why they were yellowing. So we've been cutting it back more and more when it's actually ready. So yeah. This tub, you might be wondering why we've got a tub of dirt here, but this is our carrot tub. Since last week, we found out that carrot tops don't actually grow into carrots. We decided to get some carrot seeds and try our hand at growing actual carrots. So that's what this tub is. Doesn't have any mulch yet because I'm not sure how well they'd be able to break through the mulch. If you think we should mulch it now, please let me know. But none of them have germinated yet. Trying to be patient, trying to keep it moist and watered, but wish us luck. This tub, still looking awesome. The onion is getting real ready to flower. The flower stalk is almost as tall as the longest leaf, and pretty soon it will be taller. Some of the onions down here got harvested, but we've still left, I think, 3 that are getting really, really close to flowering, or rather to opening up, if I can focus on it. Well, it doesn't want to focus, but you can see like the little bumps of where the little flower heads are going to be. So that's pretty exciting. The carrots are looking incredible, or the carrot tops are still looking incredible. We harvested some from the tub that used to be over here, and we've got those in a new section over there. I'll get to that in a second. But these we're leaving in the hopes that they will flower and give us seeds, although we bought some seeds anyway, so I don't know. We might just harvest these. The sage is growing even more. It looks like it's trying to escape the tub now with how big it is. If you remember last week, you could still see the sign. You can no longer see the sign. So, and we're still trying to figure out what to do with sage. Let me know if you know any good recipes. The beans, still doing awesome as ever. I'm not sure if I mentioned last week the troubles I've been having with watering them, but hopefully I've gotten that fixed with the irrigation system now. It should be much easier to water them, so we shouldn't have them drying out at all anymore. But exciting news with the beans. See if I can find it. Down in here, you can see the beginnings of a couple of flowers, which is supremely exciting. I cannot wait to start eating these beans. But yeah, because all of the joints are starting to really open up, push out, and getting ready to start flowering. So we're gonna have a bunch of beans. This guy earlier today was above the top of here, and I got a pretty good picture. See if I can show that now. But as you can see, they are much taller than the trellis now, and I think they're trying to figure out what to do now that they're at the top. But that's very cool. I love seeing them actually use the trellis. It's just really satisfying, really rewarding experience seeing the plants actually using the stuff that you built. The little stunted guy is finally getting to this first crossbar. Super proud of him. What was the thing? Oh, right. I wanted to show you guys how cool it is down under here, if I can. Because all of these plants have multiple tendrils growing up. It's not just the one tendril. So like here you can see 4, and that's because this one is a different tendril going up. But what's really cool is they're like twisting around each other, twisting around the stalks. It's really hard to get on here, but if you can see right there, it's twisting around a different one. And this is just like a knot in here, and there's even more down there. It's just super cool to see. The cucumbers getting much bigger now, and they have multiple little tendrils sticking out, which is super cute. Super cute. One thing I am worried about is, it seems to me, like in everything I've seen, that cucumbers don't grow so much vertically. I mean, I know they're a vine and they grow along the ground, but my fear is that it won't be able to climb vertically, because everything I've seen has a trellis like on an incline, and they grow up the incline. So, I don't know. Not much I can do here. I just don't have the space for an incline. So I hope they do grow vertically. But we'll see. The beans over here continue to make me believe that they're bush beans, but at a cute picture of one trying to hold on to the trellis as hard as it could. But unfortunately I do believe that they are bush beans, so that trellis is, pretty much useless. But that doesn't keep them from being super cute. You can see a little stalk growing up here, and you can see all the damage from the thrips the last couple of weeks up close here. The lentils are not looking super hot, although the ones over here aren't too bad, but the ones in the beans over here are not doing well. Either they're getting like suffocated by the beans, torn out by us, or just kind of drying up because of the trouble I've had with watering them. There is one that's doing pretty well down there, but all the other ones not so hot. The potatoes are doing incredible. These are the 3 little ones that popped up last week, and they're getting huge. They're almost as big as the big guy over here. Sorry again for the wind. This little guy down here now has, last time I counted, I think 10 little things growing. So I think we're gonna have to move him out of here, as much as this bag is working pretty well. So I think we're hoping to use some of the black tubs that we got, the black planters from the tomatoes that we moved. We can throw some of them in there, but I don't know what else we're going to be doing with them. So we do have one more of those big giant fabric planters, and we're going to be using that hopefully for some pumpkins that we're trying to sprout over here. We've had them for a few days, but they still haven't sprouted, so I think I was kind of spoiled with the ones in the stump that just kind of sprung up immediately. But I'm being patient, holding on, waiting for these to sprout. One of them will go into that big fabric planter. Not sure what we're going to do with the other one yet, if it sprouts. You can see a little radish over here. This is just the most adorable little flower I've ever seen. It's so cute. And there's another one right there. I really hope that it gets pollinated and it gives us some seeds, because this is just too cute. And he's trying so hard. So here you get kind of a preview. These are some of the pumpkin seedlings from the stump, and we'll get there. But they were not doing well over there. They really looked bad, like they were just dying. So I took out 3 of them. There's one still in there, and we'll get to him. But the other ones, one of them just didn't make it at all. These are the other 2, which I don't think are going to make it, but my mom wants to try to save them. But they just were not looking healthy at all. Here are the carrot tops from the laundry basket and some other ones that we had in the kitchen. We've moved these to the saucers that normally go underneath planters because we figured, hey, we just need a shallow thing to keep the carrot tops in. They aren't going to grow down. They just really, the roots grow out. So this ended up being perfect as far as I can tell. We were just trying to grow them in water, but some of the ones from the laundry basket had such extensive roots that we figured it might be better just to plant them again in the soil. So that's what we did. We just moved them all to some soil, and looks like they're growing pretty well. This cutting from the early girl is doing real well. I think it's this one. Not sure. Yeah, but this one's doing real well, looking real pretty. It's actually growing. It's definitely growing. So might want to repot her somewhere. I think she's also going to go in one of the 5-gallon planters that we move the tomatoes out of. But I don't think that's decided yet. Woo! This is what's left of the nursery. Unfortunately, these 2 Roma tomatoes didn't make it. This poor little bell pepper is still holding on, but he just doesn't have enough soil, I think, to really keep him going. These 2, however, are growing pretty well, although not very fast, because they don't really get much sun here. So they're kind of just holding in case anyone wants them. I think this one is for Sean, because this is the last Roma tomato seedling that we have. But this bell peppers, if anyone wants it, just let me know. This was the champion cutting, or the cutting from the champion, and it's looking pretty good. So I think it was the one at the beginning that has, here, let me see if I can get it for you. Yep, I was right. It's the one at the beginning, has little flowers. I don't think, no, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be able to sustain them, but it has them. They're super cute. I don't know if I want to pinch them off. I don't know. We'll see. So here's the herb box. I also finally figured out how to fix the focusing. So I don't have to be doing it anymore, thankfully. Anyway, here's the cilantro. Looking beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The chives, I believe, are growing because they've got additional little tiny leaves coming out, like this guy. Super cute. Like I said before, I've never seen chives grow before, so all of this is new to me. The tiny little basil is looking beautiful. Look at that. That little guy's not looking too hot, but these are looking great. My mom's cauliflower and chard, I think, has seen better days, but hey, they're doing okay. And there's a few more growing by the sprinkler here. That's too cute. All right, so here's the stump. Like I said, I took out 3 of them and left this guy. I left this guy because he has a new leaf that just opened up, and it looks pretty healthy. So I'm hoping it stays that way. If it does, then he might be able to make it. But the other ones, if I left them, none of them were going to make it, I think. The tub of Brussels sprouts and the cauliflower that I moved over here look like they're happy here. They aren't growing super fast, but neither are the other ones. So I think these are doing pretty well, other than the wind. The other Brussels sprouts over here, all doing really well. Cauliflower doing pretty well as far as I can tell. The kale is delicious, I'll have you know. We've taken a bunch of leaves from here because it's growing super well. I do have another project planned for back here. I'm not sure when that'll get done, though, so I'm not going to have it as a cliffhanger this week, but you can have it as a sort of anticipation. Hopefully sometime in the next few weeks I'll be able to show that off. The salad greens are all looking beautiful. Like they're really liking it back here. This plant grows way too fast. So we've been trying to cut it back from behind here because we do not want it taking over the peas. Speaking of the peas, oh, sorry about these big ugly yellow traps. I had them all over on the other side of the garden, but I really didn't want like the bees, and I bought a bunch of ladybugs, so I didn't want them sticking to them. But just all sorts of creatures are getting stuck to them, like gnats and whiteflies. Like, it's just covered. But anyways, the peas are growing fantastically. They're almost to this crossbar now, but I'm still seeing no signs of any flowers or even buds, so still looking forward. Spinach is doing okay, doing pretty all right. It's not growing super fast, but hey, it's growing. But that's this week's video. So now I'll do like a kind of condensed run through of everything that I just said, because this is probably like another half an hour video. So here's my first attempt at a condensed version of the video. I can't promise that it'll be only like 2 minutes long, but I'll try to make it real quick. I'm not gonna tell any stories about them, just show you what's going on. Zucchini, garlic, bell pepper, son of tall skinny guy, tall skinny guy, eggplant seedlings, green bell pepper seedling, red bell pepper seedlings, Roma tomato seedlings, Better Boy, Champion, Early Girl, Carrot Tub, Other Tub, Beans, Cucumbers, bush bean tubs, potatoes, herbs, cauliflower and chard, stumpkin, Brussels sprouts and cauliflower in the shade, Brussels sprouts and cauliflower in the back garden, kale, salad greens, peas and spinach. So that was the first attempt at a condensed video, so let me know if you liked it, or if there's something you think I should change, let me know and I'll try it next week. But see you then.